Hello, welcome to Stretford End United. This is your latest Manchester United news and transfer news. United 1, West Ham 0. United leave it very, very late. Marcus Rashford comes off the bench and scores the winning goal for United. And a solid performance by these United players this afternoon. Very, very pleased with the performance levels from these players. And I'll talk about this throughout the video. I've also been sent over some match thoughts by a few people. So I'm going to start by reading out the match thoughts. So this one has been sent over to me by by Jeff. And Jeff is a part of the Stretford End United Facebook group. So this is what Jeff has thought about today's game. So Jeff has gone on to say that we deserved to win. We dominated large parts of the game. Loved seeing us pressing and chasing players down. Didn't create enough chances. The final ball wasn't good enough until the final few seconds. But very happy with today's performance. I think, Jeff, with everything that you mentioned there in your match thoughts, you've absolutely hit the nail on the head there. So I 100% agree with everything that you mentioned in your match notes. We fully deserved to win the game. Yeah, we played a very good West Ham. We played a very good team. I think the game was scrappy at times, but I don't think the game was ever in doubt. I don't think United would ever look like losing the game. I think up until the end, it looked like we could have dropped 2 points. But I don't think United looked like losing this game at all today. We dominated large parts of that game. I think the one thing I'd say about today's game was the first half. I thought the first half was a very scrappy first half. You could see that West Ham definitely had a tactical game plan today. I think everything was in the midfield. Everything was happening in the midfield. It seemed to be a midfield battle in the first half. And it's poor to see United not having any shots on target in that first half. The one thing I would say, is that definitely needs to improve going forward from United. And as you mentioned, Jeff, we didn't create enough chances. And even though we are seeing progress under Ralph Rangnick, I think we do need to create a lot more chances than we are. But I think when we come up against the tougher teams, we're definitely going to have to do that. And like yourself, it was great seeing us pressing and chasing players down. And I think that's something that we haven't seen. Something we definitely didn't see a lot of under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We're now seeing it under Ralph Rangnick. So I think that's really, really good that that players are willing to chase players down, and it's fantastic that we're playing pressing football as well. I think it needs to be a lot more throughout games than it has been over the last couple of games. But we're making progression, so I think that will improve too. Again, what you said with the final ball not being good enough, I think some of these players, I think they were trying to rush things into making things happen in the game. I think that showed for periods of the game today. So I do think that the final ball in games needs to be a lot better, especially if United to go and win games convincingly. And then the final ball, it definitely needs to be a lot better by Manchester United. Like yourself, Jeff, I'm really happy with the performance today. The performance levels, I can't fault the performance levels from these Manchester United players this afternoon. I was feeling a bit deflated towards the end of the game when it looked like we were going to drop 2 points. But when United fans, you got to keep on believing, and I kept on believing until the 93rd minute, and Marcus Rashford come up and scored us the winning goal. So thank you very much for your match thoughts there, Jeff. Much appreciated. And like I said, you've definitely hit the nail on your head with your comments. I agree with all the comments that you've made. So thank you very much. The next match thoughts have come from Gavin, and Gavin's gone on to say benching Rashford has definitely has paid off, and good management by Ralph Ranieri. Gavin, I think you've hit the nail on the head. This, and Marcus Rashford being benched, I think it's giving him the kick up the arse he needs. Obviously, we know that there's things going on behind closed doors with Marcus Rashford. We know Marcus Rashford's confidence has been rock bottom for a while. But I think that's what he needed. He needed to kick up the arse, to say, come on, wake yourself up. You're playing for Manchester United. You need to make sure that your performance levels are better than where they are at the moment. You know how good you are, so you need to start proving it. There are players who I think you deserved to come into the team over Marcus Rashford, who deserved to start over Marcus Rashford over the last couple of games. And Gavin's also said he's looked hungry to impress when he's come on over the last few games as well, which he has, because when he came on against Brentford in midweek, he looked ready. He looked like he wanted to perform on the pitch. And that shows when he scored against Brentford on Wednesday. When he scored again, he came off the bench again today, and he scored us the winning goal. So I think he's definitely sending out a message to Ralph Ranieri. He knows that his performance levels need to be a lot better than where they are at the moment. I mean, every player goes through a goal drought. And Marcus Rashford, he's now scored 2 goals, and he's now scored 2 goals in his last 2 games. So I think this is going to give the lad so much confidence. Hopefully after the international break, Marcus Rashford will continue these performances. We'll start to see the best of Marcus Rashford again. Gavin's also said solid throughout against a very good team. Yeah, I think he was solid throughout that game. As I mentioned, I don't think we were ever in. I don't think this United team. I don't think we'll actually look like losing the game today. And like you said, we played a very good West Ham team today. Like I mentioned, I think they come to Old Trafford with a game plan not to lose. And that worked. It very nearly worked. They very nearly come away from Old Trafford with a point. But it was the way that we kept on going in that second half, and the way that we brought on the substitutes that we did. That's the one thing I want to mention about Ralph Ranieri, which I feel is a really positive, which is something that we definitely didn't see under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is the way that we used the substitutes this afternoon. When you could see that Ralph Ranieri wanted to and believed that we could still go and win this game, and he proved that by the substitutes he made when he brought on Rashford, Cavani, and Anthony Martial. So you could see he wanted to go and win this game, and all those 3 players, they were heavily involved in that winning goal that Marcus Rashford scored as well. So it was the pass from Martial to Cavani, and then it was the ball from Cavani through to Marcus Rashford that scored the winning goal. A lot of people were saying that goal should have been ruled off for offside. When I knew it was being reviewed by VAR, I was just sitting and thinking, please don't rule it out. We all want to. I'm just waiting to celebrate, and it was being checked by VAR, and I was just hoping that they wouldn't rule it out, and they didn't. When I first watched it, I did think it could have been just. I thought it looked just offside. But I watched it again, and I think he is just onside. So I do think that VAR has got it right. And what Gavin said there is, again, spot on. He was solid throughout, and we did play a very good. We played a very good West Ham team today. And Gavin said as well, we didn't create that many chances. And as I mentioned, as United creating chances, we are going to have to work on creating a lot more chances than we have been, because when we come up against the bigger teams and the tougher teams in the league and in the Champions League, we're going to need to make sure that we're creating enough chances to score goals, because we're going to have to make sure We're doing that against the bigger teams, especially if you want to win these games. And Gavin said it's the most stable performance I've seen in a while. I think the performance today, I think it's the best that I've seen, and I'm sure a lot of United fans have seen from United for a long while this season. I think we've seen a lot of disappointment throughout the season. I think we've seen a lot of poor performances, a lot of players who've been underperforming in this Manchester United team. I think we've doubted a lot of Manchester United players and whether they're capable of playing in this Manchester United team. I think we've seen, when these group of lads, when they're willing to play together, this Manchester United team can be a very good Manchester United team. We will be very hard to beat, but it needs to be the consistency, and we definitely haven't seen enough of that this season. But solid performance, like Gavin and Jeff have mentioned. A solid performance. The only downfalls is that we didn't create the chances. We were a bit scrappy at times throughout that game, and we were trying to force things a bit too much. I think that's why we were failing in certain areas of the pitch. But like I said, we kept going and we kept going. We kept believing. The players kept believing in themselves, and like the massive impact with the substitutes. Fantastic management by Ralph Rangnick. So like I said, really, really, really pleased with the performance. It takes us back into the top four. And correct me if I'm wrong here, that's the first time we've been in the top four since October. So it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see us back in the top four. We can't get too carried away. It's still got a lot of football to play throughout the season. I'm sure a lot of United fans will agree. There's still a lot of cracks in this Manchester. There are still cracks in this United team. Something that Rangnick needs to work on. So we can't get too ahead of ourselves. Just need to keep on improving. Just keep on winning as many games as we can, and that will get us into the top four, and make sure that we're playing Champions League football again next season. So I hope you've enjoyed watching the match reaction video. Smash a like on the video if you've enjoyed watching. If you're new to the channel, do also subscribe to the channel on the bottom right hand corner. Please also as well do join our Stratford End United Facebook group. It's a very good group. We've got some great content on there. We talk about team news, transfer news, everything United. It's a really good group to join. I've left the link in the video description, so make sure you join the Facebook group as well. And also make sure and share the channel with other Manchester. Also share the YouTube channel and the Facebook group with other Manchester United fans. Thank you again to Jeff and to Gavin for your match thoughts. I know you've taken your time out to get these thoughts to get that together. So thank you for your match thoughts, Jeff and Gavin. It's much appreciated. There's no United game next week due to the international break. I will be back throughout next week with the latest United news. So make sure you switch on your notification icon so you keep up to date with the latest United news I bring you. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care, and I will speak to you soon.